Beginning with one of my all-time favorite foundations, we're going to be using the Artistry Exact Fit Foundation. The shade we're using is Brûlée L4W1. This shade is a little bit on the warmer side and it's perfect for Cordelia's complexion. We're going to start by placing this on the side of her face, blending all the way out in every section that we can, not placing it on the eyebrows, keeping away from the eye, just keeping it on the skin just to create a nice even base. This foundation is beautiful, it's very skin-like, and it's very buildable. This foundation has a 24-hour wear and has a soft, natural, matte finish. I love to use the back of my hand as my mixing palette and my place where I reapply my foundation onto my brush, because it just warms up the product ever so nicely, which makes it so much easier to blend into the skin. Next, we're going underneath the eye with the Artistry Eye Brightener. We're going right underneath where you see a little bit of discoloration. Peachy, pinky tones are perfect for canceling out any blue tones or any sort of purple tones that generally show up underneath the eye. We're using just a little bit and I'm just patting in with my finger. And once you're finished with the eye brightener, move on to concealer. Here I am using the Artistry Exact Fit Concealer in medium. I'm just placing this with my finger underneath her eye in a small triangle form and just blending out again with my finger. Using your finger is really beautiful underneath the eyes because it helps with depuffing and making sure the concealer blends out without any cakiness or creases. Final touches, just blending around the edges of the concealer. Next, to set your makeup, I'm going to be using the Artistry powder in medium. I'm taking this powder underneath her eye and rolling it, as you can see here. Doing this motion really helps to set the powder into the concealer itself, and then I'm moving on to the rest of the face into the foundation. Pushing the powder into the foundation will help it set much longer and be able to give you a nice matte finish. Next, we're moving on to brows. My model here, Cordelia, wanted to learn how to shape her brows, so I wanted to show you guys as well a cool trick called brow mapping. Grab yourself a brow pencil or a brush, and we're going to go ahead and start by taking the brush or the brow pencil and going from the bottom of the nostril up to the beginning of the brow. This is where your brow should begin. Next, we're going from the tip of the nose through the iris, and that is where your arch should be, and then from the bottom of the nostril to the end of the eyebrow to know where the end of your brow should be. From here, these 3 points will help you find out where every point of your brow should be to create symmetry across your entire face. Now that we found our 3 points of our brow, we're going to begin by filling in the arch. I'm going to take a step back and check each brow for symmetry. And to match them, I'm going to start at the top of her brow. Using hair-like strokes, I'm going to continue building her arch. Just going back and forth really softly and not using a lot of pressure. To create more form for her arch, I'm going to continue underneath her brow, creating a soft line and then building from there. I'm going to use hair-like strokes to continue out through the entire brow, and then I'm going to use my spoolie to brush it out. You always want to brush out the product so it's nice and soft. Next, we're going to move towards the front of the brow, and we're going to continue with those soft hair-like strokes and blending out with our spoolie. Moving on to the next brow. We're going to begin by starting at the arch and doing soft like hair strokes again and blending out with our spoolie, taking this product into the entire brow. Now we're ready to move on to eyes. I'm using the Artistry Exact Fit Concealer in medium to prime Cordelia's eyes for eyeshadow. Ooh, who loves themselves some pink chocolate? Next, we're going into the Artistry Signature Color Shadow Quad in Pink Chocolate. Starting with shade number 2. We're placing the shadow all across the base of her eyelid, starting from the lash line, building up into the crease. Make sure to blend all over the lid with soft, fluffy pat motions, up and down, blending all through the entire lid to create a really soft effect. As you reach the outer layers of the crease from where you placed your color, go in soft little circles around the edges to make sure it's all nice and softly blended and there's no harsh lines. Now, taking shade number 3, we're going to use that color that's a little bit deeper than the rest of the colors in the quad, and we're going to use it to add dimension and definition on the outer corner of her eyes, so when she opens her eyes are going to pop really nicely for us. Blending is always going to be your key factor here, as this color is darker. So I'm taking it just on the outer corner there and just ever so lightly towards the inner corner of her eye, mostly with what's left over on the brush. We're going to do that again right over here. Just softly starting in the outer corner and blending up towards the crease, just softly. You can think of cursive E's to go ahead and blend, or soft circles. Any way you feel like it's going to be best for you to blend and make this really nice and soft as we go out. And always keeping most of the definition of color in the crease itself and blending out towards the outer edges. And I will repeat this process quite a few times until I reach my desired saturation and intensity of how dark and sultry and smoky I want to make this eye look. Going back in with shade number 3 underneath the eye. Have your client or yourself look straight up towards the ceiling. This helps so much to be able to have a flatter surface for you to be able to apply the shadow to. And I like to use my finger again just to blend underneath so it's not too harsh, as we again want this to be very, very soft. Repeat this step until your desired intensity is met. To create our highlights, we're going to be using shade number 1. Taking this on the inner corner of the eye, just where the eye meets the nose, blending it out on the outer edges. And then we're also going to take this same shade right underneath that brow arch, blending ever so softly here. And then I'm going to actually take a clean brush and blend all over the whole eyeshadow. This is going to diffuse any harsh edges, make it really soft, really wearable, very beautiful. Mascara time! We're going to be using the 3-in-1 Lash Boosting Mascara from Artistry Studio. This mascara is amazing! It extends and it shortens for 3-in-1 boosting effects. Have you never seen something like that before? We haven't, so here it is. Definitely check this mascara out. You want to start with the wand fully extended, and you're going to place it on the lashes from there. So while it's fully extended, you're going to use the multi-row side, place the mascara on top of the lashes, and then underneath. So placing on top of the lashes creates a way for the mascara to dry and actually help lift up and curl the lashes. Placing all over the lashes in a zigzag formation underneath the lashes. So redipping our wand, we've shortened it. We're going to go underneath the lashes, going from root to tip, doing a zigzag motion to really get the mascara in there and create this beautiful volume and lift, creating such a magnificent lash. And last but not least, we're going to dip it one more time, elongating the entire mascara and pulling through to add length and separation. Adding just one coat of mascara on the bottom lashes, ever so gently, not to touch or smudge the bottom skin. If I had to choose one makeup product I couldn't live without, blush might be it. Here I'm going to use the Artistry Signature Color Blush in Dusty Mauve just across the apples of her cheeks, blending up towards the temple. I'm going to be using a technique called Figure 8. As you can see demonstrated here, this is just connecting that temple and the apple of the cheek in one flawless motion. Taking what's left over on my blush brush and just dusting it across little areas of the face. You can take it on the nose, the bottom of the chin, just slightly across the forehead. This just creates a really nice natural flush all over the entire face. Creating a full-time pout. Using 2 different products to create a very soft ombre. First, I'm using the Artistry Studio 2-in-1 matte lipstick in Ruby Goddess. This is from the Bangkok collection. This works great as a lip liner, and you can also fill in the outer corner edges with this. That's what I plan on doing, and using this color first. Taking it all the way around the whole entire lips, and then just blending in ever so slightly towards the inner part of the lips. Taking Artistry Signature Color Lipstick in PrimeRose, taking this color in the inner part of her lip on the bottom lip first. Adding just that beautiful color in there where we didn't take the Ruby Goddess color and blending that also on the top as well. Doing an ombre lip with a slightly lighter color in the inner parts of the lips can create an illusion for fuller lips. Going back in with Ruby Goddess, we're just going to reline the lips and blend as we go along to clean up our edges and redefine. Ready to get that glow on for fall? Take your shade number 1 on your fan brush, take it on the high points of your cheekbones, a little bit onto the temples, very softly, just so you can get that lit from within look. Take this and dust this all over the chin, and the nose, and the forehead. Super beautiful. And that wraps up our fall glow up. So let's reveal it to Cordelia and see what she thinks.
Oh my! You feel like my semi?